Alright everybody, I just want to make this quick video to show you how to make this CYNOVA mic adapter for the Osmo Action fit better. I was watching back the video that I did on this from about a month ago, which everybody that makes YouTube videos watches them back. You know, you got to critique them a little bit and all that. But so I'm watching it back and I just happened to notice something. And you know, I always had a problem. Even at the end of that video, I said, you know, this thing just don't fit right in this cage. This is the original cage here. So, you know, Rick Halber, being the nice guy he is, he saw that video and he goes, oh, I'll send you out one of these other cages. It'll fit better in there. And he sent me out the cage right away. So I got it in, it fit better. But it still wobbled a little bit. So I'm watching this video back and I just happened to notice something. I said, wow, what's that? So then I went and dug it out of the box because I had actually put the thing back away. And, you know, here's the box. Here, I'd actually put the thing back into the box and put it back up on the shelf because I wasn't using it. But then I noticed something in that video. Now here it is modified. I modified it to make it longer. This part right here. This part right here is too short. The USB-C part. But what I noticed when I watched the video back was this little crease right here. And gee willikers, look what it is. They have this little piece of rubber that's on top of here. And it fits right on there. And it makes that part shorter so it doesn't seat in there all the way like it's supposed to. Now all you got to do to get that off of there makes all the difference in the world. You got to take a little razor blade. It's hard for me to undo this. You know, the egg's been cracked open, so I can't, you know, put the yolk back in the eggshell. What you got to do is just sit there. You can't even hardly see this, okay? It's such a quality build of this piece of rubber that's glued on here. It's almost unnoticeable. But what you got to do is you just got to pick at it. Just got to take a little bit of razor blade here, or take a like a steak knife and just start picking on one of the corners. And you just keep picking at it. And then finally this will start to lift up like that. Then of course you just go in there with your fingernail and just keep prodding away at it. And then when you get it all the way off, like so. Now that thing's like a 1/32 of an inch thick. That makes all the difference in the world of this thing seating into the camera. Okay, I mean, it makes a world of difference, just that 1/32. So then once you get that off of there, there's going to be a little ridge right here. And it goes all the way around, but it's really micro thin ridge, and that's what the rubber sits inside of. So all you have to do is take a little emery board or a little piece of sandpaper. I used one of those little files from a nail clipper, you know, one of those little files that pull out of the nail clipper. And I just ran it across there all the way around and just filed that down. Now when you go to stick this into the camera, like so, man, it snaps all the way in there now. Now it's all the way in there. And this is without the case, but even with the case, you can just tell the difference from that rubber being gone, how it snaps in there. I mean, you can hear it and you can feel it. So, yeah, that's what you want to do to get this thing to where it's not like not in there. I'm telling you, that thing was not seated all the way in there the way before, while that was on there. It was not all the way in there. So that's what you have to do to make that work. So there you go, right there. Yay. That's all you need to do is get that thing in there, or get that piece of rubber off of there. But if you want to get around all of that, just go pick that up. That's the GoPro Hero 8. And boy, do I love this thing. I like this better than the Osmo Action. one thing I like about it is you don't need the cage. Okay, and it has this little thing on the bottom. Now I know some reviewers complained that this thing was kind of fragile, but they're only a couple of dollars, and you break one, they screw. There's a couple of screws right there on each side, and you just screw in a new one if you break it. You know, I don't do motocross and jump off of mountains and all that crap, so the odds of me breaking this are probably astronomical. Okay, more than likely. The Hypersmooth 2.0 is better than the Rocksteady. It's just better, and it doesn't crop anywhere near as much as the Rocksteady does. Rocksteady has a lot of cropping. Another thing I like about this is it has this option for your bit rate. So it doesn't have those crazy file sizes that the Osmo Action has. That's one of the things I don't like about the Osmo Action. You know, when I'm going out there to shoot a video with some little toy quadcopter, I don't need to have 100 megabits per second. You know what I mean? I don't need that. And with this, with the Osmo Action, just 1080p. Just shooting 1080p. I'm not even talking 4K. Just shooting 1080p. The file is over 4 gigabytes for every 6.5 minutes. So if I just go out and shoot a 10-minute video, it means I got a 4 gigabyte file and a 3 gigabyte file, and I got to combine them and all that mumbo jumbo. But the Hero 8 Black gives you this option to reduce the file sizes, so you can shoot a longer video with just one file. You don't have to use the 100 megabit per second and have those gigantic files. So I like that option, and the video looks decent. I already shot a couple of videos with it, and it looks basically identical to the other stuff. You know, I couldn't tell no difference by the human eye, and on, you know, once YouTube gets done butchering everything all up, so I really didn't even see a difference. So I liked it. Plus the sound on this thing is way better than the 7 and way better than the 6. So you got, see this here right in the front, you got microphones on here all over the place, right here on the side, in the front, on this side. I don't know if there's anything on the bottom or not. I'm just not sure. But the sound is way better. And then they're coming out with that mic kit. They call it like a media kit they're coming out with. So I'm going to pick that up, and then I'll just be done with all that. So yeah, I like this way better than the Osmo Action. No doubt. No doubt. And it's way better than the 7 too. So the 7 is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the 7. But this is better. All right, guys. There you go. Go and get your emery board. Get your emery board and get going on this thing. It'll make it sits in there a lot nicer, man. Believe me. A lot nicer. All right, guys. Have a nice day.